Manifesting your next level right now is about doing different things and thinking in a different way, expecting in a different way, consistently, doing it every day. What is up, my fellow dreamers and soul searchers? Welcome to the Roxy Talks Manifestation Podcast, your raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic source for all things manifestation related. I'm Roxy Lee, and for the last decade, I have been researching and developing my signature 360 method, which combines behavioral science, quantum physics, and the law of attraction to help you manifest a life beyond your wildest dreams. Visit roxytalks.com for more info. Now, let's get into it. What is up, my fellow dreamers and soul searchers? Welcome to another episode of the Roxy Talks Manifestation Podcast. Woo! So I'm like, I don't know, I got jazzed up listening to my own intro. I was like, yes, this fucking intro. This shit slaps. I'm like, this is like pumping me up. I don't normally listen to the intro when I'm recording it. I usually just like go towards the end and just like pop it on. But today I was listening. I'm like, yes, okay, let's go. So anyways, welcome. Hello. I hope it got you pumped up like it got me, and you are ready to fucking hit the ground running and like, man, oh, God, oh, you know what? Like, we should already have our ideal realities. Why the fudge don't we have them yet? Seriously. Why the fuck don't we have our ideal realities? You listening. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. Whether you're driving, whether you're on the treadmill, whether you're putting some makeup on, maybe you're making some coffee, you're eating a sando, whatever you're doing, you. Why don't you have your ideal reality yet? Not a rhetorical question. I want you to answer this question. Why don't you have it yet? What is standing in the way? What do you need to do first? What don't you have yet? What are the problems? Why don't you have your ideal reality yet? Because whatever you say, whatever comes up in your mind, whatever you hear, that is that belief right there. I don't have this. I can't do this yet. I need to do this first. This thing won't let me do that. This person said I can't. Whatever you say is, well, obviously is a block right there itself. It's a limiting belief, of course, but also that's the truth that you're manifesting. That's the reality you're choosing. And as Amanda Frances puts it in her book, Rich as Fuck, by the way, I highly, highly, highly recommend everybody in the world read that book. I've read it like literally like legit like 7 times. That reality is available to you, right? Like I just said, the reality where you don't have your ideal reality because of fill in the blank reason is an available reality. It's a possibility. Yeah, absolutely. That could be true for you. But there's also the possibility that anything you want is your reality. So there are other realities available to you. You don't have to be available for that reality. Like, it is an option for you to believe your current truth. And it's also an option for you to believe your ideal reality. They're both available. But you have to decide what you're willing to believe in, what you're willing to give into, what you're going to dedicate your life to every day. And it's like thinking about what we're dedicating our lives to every day. I'm not just talking about your career or your purpose at large. I'm really talking about, what do you think about all day? What is the overall message of the day you're living? Is it, I have so much to do and I can't get anything done? Is it, I'm not making enough money and I'm just like working away but not doing what I love? Is it, I don't know how to get what I want? Is it, nothing is working out for me? Because the belief that drives you every day, like what is your GPS location set to? And I'll be honest, because I'm literally, I'm channeling this in the moment, and I'm also talking to myself, just so you know. Because when I think about my regular, like where my ship, I usually drive my ship to, I have so much to do and not enough time to do it. Like that's kind of my truth. I've got all these things to do. I'm totally overwhelmed. I'm working so hard. I'm doing so much, and I don't have time to do the things I really want to do. I say that a lot to myself, and I live by that truth. And I'm totally calling myself out right now, by the way, just so you know. Like you know me, I do this work too. There's nothing more important in the entire world than doing this work. There's nothing that comes before this. There's nothing that could be more important than this work. If I had a child, I would still say that this is the most important work, because this work determines the kind of relationship I have with my child, and it also determines the kind of person my child develops and grows into. Because they're going to do what I do. They're going to see what I see, or they're going to, see what I'm doing, what I'm saying, how I'm acting, how I'm carrying myself, and they're going to mimic it, right? So like literally there's nothing that you can tell me that is more important than your relationship to yourself and the relationship to your thoughts, what you think about your reality, what you think is possible for you. So you have to really look at and question what you're doing and be willing to sever ties with the old self and the old ways and cut the strings and quit holding on to shit. I'm totally talking to myself right now. I'm calling myself out. I heard in meditation one day, they were like, don't let the fruit rot in your hand. Like you have a piece of fruit in your hand. And if you don't develop and bring your ideas and evolve yourself and move through the energy that you're experiencing, it's like you're holding this beautiful piece of fruit in your hand and it's just rotting. And then you're not willing to give it away or to sell the apple to me or whatever until it's rotten in your hand. And then you're trying to give it away. You're holding on to things too long. We need to let go of them. We need to sell the fruit while it's ripe. Don't hold things in your hand and just be so married to and stuck to your old ways. Another thing I heard in meditation is you have to, if you want to make drastic change, if you want to get to your next level now, you need to stop what you're doing. Stop the old self hard and fast. They literally said hard and fast. Quit the old self hard and fast. Because if you don't, guess what you're going to keep getting? Exactly what you're experiencing right now, which may not be the end of the world for you. Or it might be. It might be the worst thing in the fucking world to keep having what you're having. It might be just fine. And either way, or it might be fucking great. And like, yes. If that's you, please leave a comment on this or DM me and be like, listen, I listen to your podcast and I want you to know I'm just listening to make sure I don't slip back and go into my old ways because I'm actually doing really fucking great. And by the way, I love when you send me those kind of messages. But whether or not your life is terrible or it's just fine or it's all great or whatever, you may still want to get somewhere, right? You still have goals of where you're going next. And if you continue acting in the same way, thinking in the same way, being in the same way, believing in the same way, you're going to end up the same. You're going to keep continuing. You're going to keep manifesting the same reality, the same style reality. It's going to be slightly different, but it's going to be very similar. It's going to look just like what you're experiencing now. You're going to run into the same problems, the same tests, the same issues coming up over and over again, the same opportunities to transcend. But if you're not aware and if you're not ready and if you are not on point, if you don't have your awareness and discipline down, shout out 360 method, then you are not going to ascend into the next level. You're going to stay where you are. It's just like a video game. If you don't beat the boss at the end of the level, you play it again and again and again and again and again. And the Groundhog Day effect is like no problem in a video game. It's no big deal. It happens, right? It's kind of like what it's based on. I grew up in the 90s when, or I mean the 80s and the 90s, but when you played a video game, there was no saving your spot. When you played Mario, even if you beat the game, you had to start all over every single time you opened that game. So it is completely perfectly fine with the way the system is built to stay at the same level. Like it'll just keep putting you back in the same level. No problem. You want to stay here? Cool. No big deal. We're here now. No worries. But you can also just as easily ascend. I mean, relatively easy, right? The levels are built. It's possible. It's possible for you to stay at level 1 for your entire life. It's also possible for you to ascend through the game. Like I said earlier, both options are available to you. The reality where you are a multi-billionaire and you're doing big things and you have a huge empire and loving and adoring fans and clients and you have all kinds of fun friends and your family loves you and the world is hanging on your every word and adores every product that you put out and you're a household name and you're changing the world and you're making people's lives better. That is just as available to you as the reality where nobody knows who you are. You stay stuck in a 9-to-5 job, or, if you're lucky, you have some money coming in, or even worse is available to you as well. They're all available to you. And none of them are any easier or harder to get to. They just require focus and consistency, or as also, awareness and discipline. I say it all the time. It's the cornerstones of 360 method, which, by the way, is coming back for the month of September. So if you've ever felt called to join me and our fellow 360 fam, learn how to control your thinking, learn how to use manifestation to your advantage, learn how to manifest your ideal reality on autopilot, 360 method is for you. Come join us. Hit me up on Instagram, Roxy Talks Forever, and we can get you set up. So understand that your next level, the you that you want to be, is about you doing different stuff than you're doing right now. I said it before. It's like your $100,000 a day version is not doing more stuff. They're doing different stuff. They don't have more time in the day. They just use their time in a different way. They use their thoughts in a different way. Because you only have 24 hours in a day. You also only have, let's say 65,000 thoughts in a day. There is a finite number to how much you can think in a day. That's a good thing. That means we can find the midway point, and that means we can also find the tipping point. Because listen, I know I'm in the manifestation space, but I'm actually a pretty logical person. I'm a pretty logical thinker. So that's what I love about manifestation is the science side of it. This is actually fucking happening. This is real life. So if it's really happening, then there's got to be a formula to it. That's the way I look at it. So if I have 24 hours in a day, I've got only so many thoughts I can think, because I can't really think 2 thoughts at once, right? I can only really think 1 thought at one time. So that's good. So that means that there's only a certain amount of space and possibility for the amount of thoughts that I can think in one day. Again, that means that there's a 1 and there's an end to this. That means that there's a middle, and that means there's a 51%. So if you can get your thoughts 51% on board to your ideal reality, you have created momentum in the right direction, right? The tipping point. You are putting the majority of your thoughts on your ideal reality. But if you're not doing at least 51%, you're not getting there, right? You're not really moving the needle. And also 51% is nice, but 1%, which over time can grow massively. But if you're looking to get to your next level now, you want huge results now, you have to make drastic changes now. You have to be willing to cut the ties of your old self now. You have to be willing to do what you don't do now. You have to be willing to do different things. You have to just do different things. You have to just think different thoughts. And then you have to do it consistently. You have to act on it every single day. This isn't just like a one-time thing. This is you become a different person, period. Because if you really think about it, if you really, really, really think about it, every single reality that could be a possibility has a version that is manifesting that reality on autopilot, right? Because the reality has to match a manifestor. The manifested has to match a manifestor, right? And if the reality is in existence, which it has to be in order for me to get there, I think we talked about this last week. The many worlds theory combined with the double slit experiment combined with string theory is my opinion that's the scientific studies that are, what do we want to call them, experiments or theories that prove manifestations happening or, support manifestation. Let's say it like that. So if I'm able to get to the reality, if it's a possibility, then it has to be in existence before I get there. Just like the game board has to be created before I can play it. So these realities are in existence, and some version of you or of me has those thoughts naturally on autopilot. That version that's living in your ideal reality, it doesn't matter which reality or which version of it or what degree of your ideal. Are we talking millions? Are we talking multi-millions? Are we talking billions? Are we talking multi-billions? Like literally think about the different levels of your ideal that are out there. Every single one of those realities has its you. And that you is manifesting that reality on autopilot, just like you are the version that I'm talking to right now that is manifesting this reality on autopilot, meaning you're manifesting this version of reality without really realizing it. And I think that's something that we kind of forget a lot is like, we're so focused on what we want to manifest and where we want to go, we fail to recognize what we are manifesting, that we are manifesting ourselves into a reality without realizing it. So there is a version of us that is out there manifesting every ideal reality that's possible without even really realizing it. Because you know what they're probably doing? Looking to their future, looking to the next level. Because it is you, and you're listening to a self-help or a self-improvement podcast. I know what kind of person you are. You're somebody who is willing to do what it takes to change their lives. You're somebody that is willing to think differently than the people around you. You're someone that is willing to change everything you've ever known if it means getting everything you've ever wanted. And that's not going to change just because you get stuff you want, because you're going to get those things and want more. And you're going to know how to get it. So you will. You'll act as if, and you'll believe, and you'll meditate, and you'll upgrade, and you'll manifest your next level, and you'll cut ties with that self. The self that you think is your ideal at some point will not be good enough anymore for you. And you'll be working on manifesting the next thing. So how do you tap into the version of you that's just doing this without even realizing it? What are they thinking? What are they acting like? How are they being? What are they fearing? Are they fearing? Are they pushing through the fear? What do they do when they're triggered? What do they do when they're happy? How do they make themselves happy? How do they make happiness? How do they create wealth? How do they create opportunity? How do they build the adoring fans and the business and all of that stuff? Like, what are they doing? Seriously. These are not rhetorical questions. These are real fucking questions I want you to answer. Because if you can answer these and then do those things, you can become that version. Manifesting your next level right now is about doing different things and thinking in a different way, expecting in a different way, consistently, doing it every day. I meditate every single day, and I'm dedicated for the rest of my life. I will not skip a day because it is so incredibly powerfully life-changing, for one. And two, it's the only chance that I have of staying consistent and being my ideal self. And the reason I say that is because, for one, I mean, listen, okay, I'm going to be 40 in a couple months. I've lived a few decades. I've experienced myself at many different levels. And when I'm not meditating, I'm at the bottom. I'm at my worst. And I spent like 36 years of my life there. So I know it well. I know it well. I know what it feels like. And when I don't meditate, it feels like that. And I am not willing to go back there. I was having this conversation last night, actually. I made friends with a business owner lady in my neighborhood. So we were hanging out. This is like new for me. I'm very excited, to have somebody that's like has the same philosophies as me and is doing the same stuff. And I was just telling her last night, like, once I figured out that I was controlling my reality with my thoughts, like the degree of it, like obviously I've known about manifesting for a while, but it was right when I started developing 360 in the middle of 2019, like the spring and summer of 2019 is when I started developing 360. And when I really started to understand the gravity of my thoughts and sentences and realize that literally every single sentence that I thought or spoke was like, a grain of sand in my sandcastle of reality, and that I was building the sandcastle, period, with like I was the one placing those grains together and grains of sand and making that castle, like a switch turned on or off, however you want to look at it. And I can't ever go back. You can't unring that bell. And when I realized how powerful meditation is, like I'm literally able to tap into the energy of these versions we're talking about and feel them and talk to them and get insight from them and see their world and see the world through their eyes and be them. So I'm tapping into that energy every single day. I start my day there. And I'm telling you, it makes a world of difference. It makes it makes a person-changing difference. I'm a different person than I was before I figured this out. If you ever get a chance to talk to Malachi, ask Malachi, because he was kind of around. A lot of people were around, but like he was like kind of closely monitoring my ascension. And he was like, there was just a point where you were like different. What you talked about was different. Your focus was different. You just were different. And it was when I realized, like, I can't afford to waste a single fucking sentence. I can't afford it. I don't have time to throw out sentences complaining or stressing or worrying. And I'm not saying that I don't. I'm saying I'm going to do everything in my human power and ability to stop myself from doing it when I see it. Discipline and awareness, right? And to redirect my thoughts, and then to practice thinking in a way that expands me and grows me and keeps me on the right side of manifestation. And I'm going to do it every single day for the rest of my life. And I'm never going to take a fucking day off, because there is no day off of this. Don't you wish you could take a day off of your misery, of your stress, of your worry, of being broke, of not knowing what to do next, of feeling helpless, of feeling lost? Wouldn't you take a fucking day off if you could? It's the exact opposite with this. Is like, how could you possibly take a day off when everything is going in your favor? How could you possibly take a day off when you know that taking a day off means going back to your old ways? For me, it's not worth it. I can't go back there. I can't be that person again. I would literally rather die. I'm not even joking with you. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not fucking speaking in hyperbole. I'm being fucking straight up. It's like, I want to die when I get into those spaces. I don't want to be here anymore. It gets that bad. And so it's like, I cannot afford to allow myself to be that person. Every day is a game and a challenge. How can I be more my ideal? What did she do today? What did she do today to get her where she is? What do I have to do today to get where she is? And I'm willing to do it. I have to do it. There's no other choice. And sometimes it's harder than others, and sometimes it's easier than others. And I'm telling you this, I'm not perfect, and I don't have 100% perfect days every day. But I don't give up on myself. I don't skip days. I do not take days off of manifesting or meditating or trying to be my ideal self. Never, never, never. There is no day off. What do you mean? I am my ideal. What do you mean a day off? What do you mean it's hard, so I'm just going to stop manifesting for a minute? Like, there's no option but to keep going and keep climbing and keep shifting and refining and growing and trusting and understanding. Like, there's no other option. What else could you possibly do on this planet except allow yourself to exist in misery? I'm not fucking doing that. It's not worth it to me. This place is too beautiful, too abundant, too amazing, and I have too many opportunities at my fingertips to allow myself to slip back into wallow and misery and negativity and stress and even just lack or like non-possibility or meh, wah. No. Get fucking excited. Get excited about yourself. Get excited about what you're doing. If you were in your ideal reality, if you just snapped into it right now, you would be fucking thrilled, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you be so excited about what you're doing? Isn't that the goal, to do the things that you love so much, to do so much you every day that you're just like bouncing off the walls with joy and creativity and excitement and possibility? If that's the case, then you need to put yourself into that space now. You need to put yourself into that energy now. You need to be the person that is doing it now. And you need to do it energetically. It's not about the physicality. It's not about seeing it in your reality. It's about what you're doing inside. The inside manifests into the outside. It has always been that way. It will always be that way. And it will never be the opposite. You will never manifest from the outside in. It does not work like that. So stop letting your 3D reality tell you what the tea is. Stop letting your 3D reality tell you what the fuck is up. That's not the truth. It's not your truth. It's not your reality. It's just the place you're in right now. It's just the room you're in. It's just the building you're in. It does not mean this is your life sentence. So stop setting up shop, putting a stake in the ground and claiming that space as yours when the billionaire, multi-billionaire version is just as yours, just as available to you. So change up your actions. Cut ties with your old self hard and fast now. Do it now. Do different stuff. Do what you would not normally do. Take radical action. Take massive action. Take 10x action. Do something different. Be someone different. Think something different and just do something different for yourself today, tomorrow, the next day, the day after, and on to infinity, and never stop. And that is how you will guarantee your success. That is how you will keep getting to your next level over and over and over and over. I'm doing it with you. I'm right here. I'm along for the ride. I am willing to do this work too. I have to. There's nothing more important. I have to nail this. I have to figure this out. I have to understand this. I have to ingrain this in myself. I have to live this way for the rest of my life. You don't have to, but I'm telling you, like, you probably should. You could. That's an available reality for you. But it's also an available reality for you where you just stay the same, and that's cool too. I'm not judging you. I'm just telling you where I'm going and my standards. The regular old shit is not good enough for me. I've already had it. I'm over it. I'm done with that. What is next? I'm what's next. I am the next. So I have to be the next, and I have to be the next, and I have to be the next, and I have to be the next. I'm the next. I'm creating the next wave. I'm creating the next motion and momentum. I may be surfing the wave, but I'm also the fucking wave. So I want you to make a wave, make a splash, change something, do something different, elevate your mindset, elevate your behaviors, elevate your reactions, elevate your beliefs. Tell me what you're going to do something different in your life. I want to hear it. Leave a comment if you're on Spotify. DM me at Roxy Talks Forever if you're on Instagram. Oh, also, starting August 7th, we have Chillosaurus Rex is officially launching. Okay, please grab a Chillosaurus Rex. Chillosaurusrex.com. I'm going to buy that domain by the time it's going to happen. By the time August 7th comes around, Chillosaurusrex.com. CHILLASAURUS Rex.com. REX. Chillosaurusrex.com. Go buy yourself a chili. Okay, listen, we have 30 days to sell 300. My client, my beautiful, lovely client, challenged me. She said, I think you can do it in 3. She challenged me to do it in 3, right? So we're doing a big giveaway. For the first 3 days, August 7th, 8th, and 9th, you have a chance to win 3 prizes. First prize is a one-on-one with me and some awesome Chillosaurus Rex merch. And the way you enter this drawing is by purchasing a chili. Every chili that is purchased gets an entry into the drawing. So if you buy 10, you get 10 entries. Now, here's the thing. We need to sell all 300 in order for them to go into production. Otherwise, all the orders will be canceled and everybody's money will be returned. Also, they won't be shipped out until after those 30 days, okay? So these are the things you need to know. One more thing. Everybody that purchases, whether it's in the 3 days or within the 30 days, will get a digital coloring book, The Adventures of Chile, drawn by my husband. And you will get exclusive Chile affirmations voiced by none other than the legendary voice actor Tara Strong. So you might know her as Bubbles, the Powerpuff Girl, or Raven, or Batgirl, or Harley Quinn, or Twilight Sparkle, the My Little Pony. Anyway, she's the voice of Chile. So everybody that purchases the Chile also gets those. And that's not part of the contest. You just get that because I love you and I want you to have some amazing Chile merch and swag and an amazing experience with her. But those special bonuses will not be emailed out until the 30 days is over and that 300 threshold has been met. Okay, so it's very important that we sell 300 Chiles. Now, here's the deal. You know, I read Grant Cardone and I listen to him a lot. I was reading, I'm reading Sell or Be Sold, and I was reading it this morning. And I was thinking about, I always hear him say, if I had started that over, it wouldn't have been 10X, it would have been 100X. And he's like, you know, I shouldn't have had I should have had a target of $1 billion. I should have had a target of 100 billion or whatever. He's like, I should have had a higher target from the start. And then I was thinking today, I was like, should I have a target of 3,000? Do I need to 10X the 300? So like, we're 10Xing the 30 days into 3 days. And now I'm like, well, should we 10X this 300 into 3,000? Why the fuck? Maybe my target should be 3,000. I don't know. So I'm just telling you, this is a little more of just me kind of rambling behind the scenes of the life of an entrepreneur, which, by the way, I'm just going to mention this too. I really have been enjoying having Voxer chats in my coaching lately. I was adding Voxer secret offers and adding Voxer group chats to our programs and spending a lot of time just I don't know if you've ever used Voxer, but it's just voice chat. So we're like voice chatting and it's just really fun because it's kind of personal and it's like a slumber party and it's like we're having a little party together. So I've been doing more Voxer in my coaching, and as I've been doing it, I've been sharing a lot of, behind the scenes stuff and a lot of the stuff that doesn't make social media, a lot of the stuff that doesn't make the videos or the podcasts or the emails. And it's just more about what goes on behind the scenes, what it's really like to be an entrepreneur, what it's really like to be building an empire, what it's really like to have multi-billion dollar goals, to believe in it wholeheartedly, to be going after it, to be working towards it, to be doing whatever you can, to learn what you need, to be learning about investing and all of the things. And I realized that I want to have a space where I can leave nuggets of information and kind of like an entrepreneur's diary and leave behind the scenes info in voice notes. So I'm going to be creating a new membership. I'm going to start it really low. I feel like the number right now is $39.99 a month. That's the number it wants to start. I don't know. I might raise the price in the future, but it's just going to be a one-way Voxer chat. You'll have access to listening to me. There won't be anybody talking back and forth. You won't be able to send any messages in this particular chat, but you'll just have access to voice notes. And I'm just going to periodically leave voice notes about what's going on. So you'll have updates about like Chile, for example, or what it's like to create a stuffed animal and bring it to market, or what we're going through with the merch company, or how I'm doing my music video, or how I'm creating my programs, or, just what I'm doing for my marketing and what it's really like in my life. And, what are the hard things? What are the easy things? What are my celebrations? Really behind the scenes of like having you be a fly on the wall. So that's something I'm really excited about, and it keeps coming up. And I haven't really had a chance to put it together because we've had so many things going on, and now 360 is coming back. That launch is happening. Pre-sale is coming out soon. So keep your eyes peeled. But this new kind of behind the scenes membership will be coming. So I just want to tell you, it might not be for everybody, but for those who it is for, it's going to be extremely valuable. If you're somebody that does have a business and you are, you have questions about how to run it, you sometimes maybe need support, that you don't feel like you have all the time to get all the answers, or like you can't talk to your coach all the time, you can't question them always, or you can't get really as much insight as you might want to just because of logistics. This is going to be a space where you'll be able to gain insight that's just like not really available on the internet. It's not the stuff that people are talking about. It's not the stuff that people show. And not that it's like we're hiding stuff. It's just like, it doesn't, it's the cutting room floor stuff. Not that it's not important. It's, oh, wow, I was going to put out chili. Here, this is true. I was going to put out chili yesterday, but because my Instagram went down and all that stuff happened, I wasn't able to like get on the marketing. And so they were like, no, it's too soon. You have to like push it back. So we're pushing it back till next week. And so I don't know if that's interesting to you, or if you're interested in the story of what it's like to do it and how this came about, or why I'm pivoting in my niche and where I plan to take my business next and all those things. If that interests you, then it's for you. Cool. Yay. And that's me at my next level, right? And that's going to help you get there. We're becoming our new selves. We're not afraid to be the person that stands out. We're not afraid to put our offers out there. We're not afraid to be loud and proud about our goals. We're not afraid to say, yeah, I want to be a fucking billionaire. Get over it. I'm over it. I'm so over it that I'm making it happen. I'm so over it that I'm not questioning it. I'm so over it that I'm not afraid to say it out loud anymore. What about you? Where's your next level? Is your current level proud and out about what you're doing? Does your current level believe in you? Is your current level like, fuck yes, do you see what I'm doing? Because if not, that might be a way to get to your next step. Start getting excited about who you are and what you're doing, and just fucking go for it. Do something different. Do something exciting. DM me on Instagram at Roxy Talks Forever. Let me know if this is resonating for you. Leave us a comment on Spotify. If you're interested in joining 360 Method, it's coming back. And if you just want to be enrolled in all of my programs, Synergy is for you, because you just get access to all of my courses and programs and private monthly group coaching options, or private monthly group coaching calls with me. Yes, I'm so good at sentences. I love you so much. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is truly so fun. This is part of my big, beautiful dream, getting to share my ideas and have them help people and have what's working in my life work for you. I just want to see us all succeed. I want to see a revolution in this world. I want to see a new renaissance. We deserve it. We deserve to have a beautiful, functioning, thriving world that supports us, where we support each other, where there's not pain all the time because people are too focused on how to bring more good into their lives. And that's the real mission. That's why everyone needs to know this information. That's why this is my core purpose, is to share this information and get it as far and wide as possible, because people that know this and are dedicated to this mission aren't out trying to harm people. They're trying to make the world better. And if everybody was on that wavelength, imagine the world we could live in. And I absolutely have to believe that's a possibility, because if I can think of it, then there's the sirens. It's proving it's a reality. I'm going to take that as confirmation. The reality has to exist. String theory. And, based on what we said today, there's a version of me that's in that reality that's manifesting it on autopilot right now. It has to exist. So that's the reality I want to live in personally. I want to live in a world where everybody is dedicated to this mission. And that way we know we're in a beautiful, safe, abundant place. Not that we're not, but it gets to be even more abundant and more safe and more exciting and more possible when everybody's on board, when we're co-creating as a planet. Can you imagine? Can you fucking imagine? Please do. Please do. And I'm going to, because as I imagine, I create. I'm visualizing and we're making it happen. And I can't wait to, and I'm so happy that this reality is happening all around me as we speak. This is the world I live in. And you are a part of that. Thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. We're all raising our vibrations together. You have the power. I believe in you. I'll see you next week.